Pop it with
Yeah. I'm gonna look. See if you find something more. The world store.
Yeah, every week we got some stuff.
Never go among the business. You never have to worry about that. Yeah, so I just fought them 2 beatings last week.
Man.
Whooped this dude's ass and so was it Fight Night and Madden. he came to my home church and thought he was gonna get a win. Salakia for the language.
You know what, man? You know I gotta let you win every now and then. I don't want to get good. I might need somewhere to stay one day. I can't whoop you that day.
Yeah.
Alright.
I want to sleep like around 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, that's the time.
Did you eat
charge
again?
my phone, huh?
Did you eat again before you went to sleep?
No. Drink a bottle of water and I was done. You got the Wi-Fi in here?
Yeah, it should be. There's a free one in there.
So I'm
I gotta do one.
Yeah.
We still got some time. There's definitely some hot American. Huh? They got you sleeve lined and nice and ready. You know what I'm saying? There's always something like that. Think Trump will get back in office?
Yep.
Yeah, that's gonna be something crazy.
Biden might croak, man. You see how old he is?
I just think that they set it up to be able to win.
It's like that. You ain't got nobody else to work against this guy. But that's what it's supposed to happen.
He's terrible. What's his name? God, yeah. Terrible. So they won it in there, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, your boy, Miami. They got a little hairline there. I guess he got a new song or something. He mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, mentioned some people or something like that. I think. Cornball.
Trying to get his name back out there. Probably about to drop an album.
It said that the dude who found that shit. Yeah.
4-star.
Yeah, the dude who found it.
Yeah.
That sounds like some shit. Whoever that is. That's like a drama channel.
almost at the park all the way down.
Yeah, I did too. I was down there by the boot store.
A circle found one right here, right up here.
Oh,
We
yeah.
must have been pulling out, yeah. Like a half a block now.
Video with that dude slamming the kid.
That's terrible. What would make you do something like that?
Yeah. Unreal. You ain't running fast. All right, Shalom, Israel, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahshua, Barakatah. My sisters, Yahweh, Shamar, Al-Tham, Hashem, Yahweh, Shai. Priest and Officer Kwam. This is the I.S.U.P.K. and the commanding GEN.YAHANNA, started out 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Bringing out this truth since 1969. The blacks, Latinos, First Nation man and woman are the children of the Most High God. Got some exciting, great news today, you know what I mean? Our brother Al-Haran here is no longer Trooper Al-Haran. He's precinct officer of 50 Al-Haran. Let's get a Lord a hand for that, you know what I'm saying? Let's get a Lord a hand for that. Commanding GEN.YAHANNA as well, you know what I mean? Excellent news, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, Pittsburgh is, you know, coming up in the world, you know what I'm saying? So, again, if you are a brother or sister out there and you're paying attention to the class, you brothers, you know what I'm saying? Keep paying attention to the class. You come into class, we have the Carnegie Libraries. You throw in your all black. Come in and learn this truth. Your sister, same thing. Come in, you know, head covered, keep your mouth shut, you know what I mean? Come in and learn this truth, you know what I'm saying? But a real priest of the Lord. But yeah, you know, it's an amazing thing. You know, my brother here, man, you know, we were in the world together, and now we're both in the truth together. So it's an amazing thing, you know what I mean? Brothers are going to the Passover as officers. he don't have to wear all black no more. It's an excellent thing. But so today we're going to jump into we're gonna you know, talk about who Christ died for. Then we're also gonna talk about you know, the Christ didn't do away with the law. And before we jump into that, I'm about to bring out two things. One thing here is in Pittsburgh news. I'm gonna pull it up here, right here. So it's on CBS. I don't know if you heard, but here in Pittsburgh, and right, not too far away from Mount Lebanon, SHALAM. Actually, it's right down the street from my son's school. So it says here, a substitute teacher. A substitute teacher at SHALAM Catholic High School in Mount Lebanon was charged with sexual assaulting a student. 24-year-old Damon Michael Gow of Canonsburg was charged with felony institutional sexual assault, as well as corruption of minors and indecent assault, both misdemeanors. Mount Lebanon police said they received a child line report from a mandated reporter on Wednesday that said a person who was at the time a substitute teacher at SHALAM Catholic High School had unwanted and inappropriate contact with the student. Gow was charged and arrested after an investigation by Mount Lebanon police, school officials, and other law enforcement agencies. Mount Lebanon police said they would have information that Gow also worked in the Ringgold School District. Police said they had notified the Washington County District's office for a follow-up. Anyone with information is asked to call Mount Lebanon police. Now, I'm not 1,000% sure this is, you know, he's actually guilty of this. But one thing I know about Mount Lebanon is that's a place where there's a lot of uppity oppressors. You understand that? So coming from somewhere like Canonsburg, you're a teacher coming from Canonsburg and you're teaching in Mount Lebanon school, they probably, first of all, when you walk in the building, they probably like, what the hell are you doing here? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, if this is, you know, accurate what they're saying, you know, this I believe it's an Edomite, you know, sexually assaulted another student or whatever. Now, sometimes, you know, it could be a situation where a teacher might be a young teacher and a student might, you know, I've seen this happen. They have a crush on the teacher or something like that. Like, you know, I don't know what the complete situation is here, but it looks like at least from what I'm reading, Alex, he might be guilty of it. But we have to read more about it and see if it's actually, legit. But, this is just a terrible situation because in these days, man, this is a very, I know, younger like students, stuff like that, they're very familiar with, like the laws and stuff like that, as far as like, then they can say things about you. I remember I used to work at a facility, I used to work at Arberly, Abraxas, Family Links, and all the time, these kids would make allegations to other co-workers and stuff like that, and then they get child line. Those jobs are very serious because once you get a child line, even if you're not guilty of it, it's like it shows up on your record. So, like I said, I don't know what this situation is, but, I just know if I would send my child to a school or my daughter to a school, this would happen. This would be a terrible thing, you know what I mean? But the bottom line is, and of course these are oppressors, but if you're the nation of Israel, serving the Most High God, and teaching your daughters and your sons the laws, the statutes, and commands of the Most High God is the only safety net in anything in society today in America, because this is just such a wicked place. You know what I mean? You got adults who harm children. We'll get into something else about that. You got children who do things that are not right as well. But the best thing is to know the law, statutes, commands of the Most High God. Now, if you're a heathen or you're outside of the nation of Israel, the laws don't apply to you. You know what I mean? It just is what it is with you. But if you're the nation of Israel, and that's what we're here to teach Blacks, Hispanics, First Nation people, knowing the Most High's law, statutes, commands is the greatest thing. And again, the I.S.U.P.K and the command of GEN.YAHANNA is the answer to that. I don't know if you want to jump in or whatever, but that's the only safety net that you have. You know what I mean? Because there's times that you see we see in the news all the time. Children get sent out to schools like that, don't even come back. They're getting shot in the schools, shot in front of the schools. All types of horrible things happen. I told you, I was traumatized. I seen 2 children get hit by a vehicle. You know what I mean, on the north side. So again, we need the law, statutes, commands, and trust in the Most High God and knowing His law, statutes, commands, because it's the only thing that's like going to be a safety net for us. You know what I mean?
So what I'm looking at here says a substitute teacher. So I'm going by just the story.
Right,
I'm not saying he did it or didn't do it, but it's so sometimes, a lot of times, these substitute teachers prey on these kids.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and the question I got is, that's not his first. Is that his first?
Yeah, right.
He done went from a different school district, I think.
And if I could, right? They said Ringo. Ringo. And like I said, a substitute teacher. Not to cut you off, but substitutive teachers, they're kind of like they work, but they're not really. You know what I mean? They just pass around wherever they're needed. And they, I have a friend that was a substitute teacher for years. Never had a solid job, but he just kept getting passed around different school districts. So it's kind of like they're employees, but they're not. It's like somebody just fill in, and then the school districts here, a lot of the school districts here are terrible anyway. You know? So they just kind of like anybody coming to the door.
Another thing, he's a 24-year-old man. So what he's probably doing, he can't separate that he's a grown man and there's children in that high school.
Now see, that is very heavy what you brought up, because I read it and it didn't even register to me now that you just said that. 24 years old, see, I remember when we were younger, our teachers were old.
Older, yeah, we didn't have no young teachers like that.
I remember the principal, they was all like in their 50s and 60s.
Right.
And you wouldn't even remotely find them in traffic. I mean, they was all, every now and then in high school you might have had a bad one, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We had a few Peabody. It was very few. But that was heavy what you brought out, Ron, because that's exactly what I didn't even, because my oldest son is 22 years old.
Right.
He's
a kid.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And he still has a lot of, kid ways, you know what I mean? So just imagine putting a 24-year-old with, students that can be 18. You see what I'm saying? So it's but that's terrible. Of course we're not making any excuse for anything, but what he brought out was a very heavy thing. A 24-year-old, especially today's boy. Yeah, I mean, men, we tend to, it takes a little longer to get our, mental together the way we need to be together. I don't know if you had any more on that.
No.
All right. So, but the other thing, I seen online and I actually posted to the Pittsburgh page. There's a video where a grown man goes to a child, picks him up by his neck, and slams him head first on the ground. And I'm talking about this man had to be probably our age, maybe 40s or 50s, late 30s, whatever. He picks up a child that looked like to be no older than 8 or 9, 10 years old, and slammed this child on the ground, head first. Then walked further down and took another child and knocked him off the slide board. Now, supposedly, they were saying that he did this because the kids were bullying his child. But
That's
regardless,
not how you handle it.
Yeah, you can go jump in on that.
So I mean, this is not how you handle a situation of a bully. There's a better way of handling it. You don't assault
a child.
And not only did he assault him, I mean, we don't even know, because that child was completely unconscious.
Listen, I wish let me see if I can put it here. I'm gonna actually go up to the. I'm actually go up to the camera and play this so you can see this if you're watching. Yeah. I'll jump back in on it, but.
Yeah,
it was terrible.
You don't do that to a child. There's another way of
solving
that,
It was terrible. Let me see if I can get it here. It was terrible. I was like, okay, so here we go. I'm gonna play it right from my. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, this should be cool. I'm gonna play it again. If you can see that, I'll play it one more time for you. Watch this grown man take this kid by the neck and slam him on the ground. Head first. Look at the child's arms and hands. He looks knocked out. Then he walks down and pushes another kid off the sliding board. Terrible. And you know what? You know what, Al-Haran? You know what he sound like? Lucky. It sounded like he might be a Ukrainian too. That's what it sounded like to me. That's what that, you know what I mean? He had that accent and that, you know what I mean? But this is another reason why we say the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks about. So let me tell you something. You in a black community, the chances of you seeing something like that is very so. Now, somebody in the black community, you might go get another. A younger, maybe a little cousin or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you as an adult, you're not going to do that. It's just your conscience. You know what I'm saying? We're better people than that. You know what I mean? But that was just terrible. You know what I mean? And of course, this is an oppressor. You know what I mean? But I could just only imagine if I had been in a park, and turned my back for a minute, and somebody was picking my child up, and you
lose it.
Listen, let me tell you something. Lord be with you because there's no way I'm gonna just accept that. Yeah, and you wouldn't dare do that to a child in the I.S.U.P.K. You would. There'd be 1,000 beers, boots, and braids right at your door.
Forget about it.
Forget about it next. Forget about it, right? So, but yeah, it was just a terrible situation, man. But again, you know what I mean. Like I said, when you serve the Lord, we have protection from stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because we are men of the Lord, and if you're a brother or sister to serve the Most High God, your family gonna have protection from stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because you're being, a good situation with the Lord. That's why we serve the Lord. That's why if you're not in the truth, and you're a brother, or, you know what I'm saying, or your sister, and especially like you brothers, if your reason why you're not coming into the truth is because you're allowing a family member or some type of slavery or some type of condition or whatever keeping you out of the truth. What you don't understand is you're putting the people and the things that you love at risk. Because when the Most High wants you, the Most High wants you. You know what I mean? And again, we're not begging people to come here in the I.S.U.P.K. We're not. We got plenty of members, like the generals always say. But we are fishermen. You understand that? We are here to fish our people out and to bring our people back to the truth. So, but when the Most High, has that, has a call on you and He wants you in here, He wants you in here. He don't want to hear nothing about no ribs. He don't want to hear nothing about no ribs. He don't want to hear nothing about no kids. He don't want to hear nothing about no slavery. Nothing. You know what I mean? There's no excuse for not serving the Most High God. You understand that? There's no excuse. I'm not going to jump in on that. But, that's just what it is. You got to come into this truth. And again, if you love your family, if you have loved ones, the best way you can protect them is by coming into the truth and serving the Most High God. Because once you have when the Most High God turns His back towards you, turns His face from you, you know what I mean? It's open season on you. It's not. You got to worry about some Edomite slamming your kid head first into the ground. Or, you know what I mean, you being shot in the back by police like Antoine Rose. You know what I mean? So, Salaki, you know what I mean? May that brother rise again. But, it's just, these are just facts, you know what I mean? If you're not serving the Most High God, these things can happen. All right, but, so we're going to jump into some scriptures. We're going to talk a little bit about who Christ died for and, Christ didn't do away with the law. And this is always a heavy topic in I.S.U.P.K. because we know that the Christian pastor, for various reasons, the main reason for the lust of his own belly, lies to the children of Israel. And I say children of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, First Nation people. they lie to us day in and day out, you know what I mean? Like the earth has been filled with a flood of lies, you know what I mean? Which beginning with the oppressor, but you know, the Christian pastor carries on, you know, the oppressor's traditions and therefore brainwashes them people, you know, for money, and you know, it's a lie. So you can get the truth here in the I.S.U.P.K and the command, Your So the first one we're going to bring out is Matthew 1 and 21. Let's do that. Let's get Matthew 1 and 21. And Ron, when you grab that for me, please, Bubba, read that for me.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 21. And she shall bring forth a son. Is this the right one?
Yes, sir.
And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahweh, Jesus. For he shall save his people from their sins.
Okay, so what we're talking about here is you know, who Christ died for. And the she, you know who the she that they're talking about is? Take a shot at it. So the son that's being brought forth is Yahweh. So who's bringing him forth?
What's that?
That's right, but where do every man come from?
Woman.
Right, and who's his mother?
There.
Right, God. So it's talking about, this is Christ. In the scriptures here it says Jesus, but as Aaron said, Yahweh in the Hebrew, which is excellent, you know what I'm saying? Yahweh is going to be brought forth by a woman, and this is a black woman, okay? So this is letting you know who Christ died for, okay? So again, read that from the top for me again, brother.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people from their sins.
Notice how Aharon stressed at the end, for he shall save his people, because in the world, here in America and all over the world, you're taught that Christ or Yahweh died for everyone. But it stresses here in Matthew 1 and 21 that he died for his people. Now, his people are blacks, Hispanics, First Nation, man and woman. Christ did not die for you heathen nations. And I know you want it to be that way, but it's just not true. Like Aharon did, he stressed his people. So Christ, and the topic here is who Christ died for. So that's blacks, Hispanics, First Nation, man or woman. He didn't come for everyone. Okay, so you Christian pastors, stop lying to the people. You know what I'm saying? Because this is one of the reasons why, you know, Dr. Martin Luther King and the integration, everything is heavy, because they believe that, you know, it's okay to do so because the Christian pastor is lying, and Michael King lied as well. So I don't know if you have anything you want to jump in on that. We can jump. Okay, let's go to Matthew 10, 5 and 7.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 5. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Go where?
Rather go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Go ahead to 7.
And as ye go, preach, saying, The kingdom of heaven is at hand.
One more.
Verse 8. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely ye have received, freely give.
Excellent. So, where Aharon is brought out here, when it starts, these 12 Jesus sent forth, this is talking about your, you know, the disciples, right? And then, you know, you already see the Edomite version, pictures of the disciples and everything, you know, which is false, you know, because we know the disciples are black men as well. It says, Go not into the way of the Gentiles. Gentiles are what? Non-Israelitish people. Or, it depends on the context, could be Israelites who don't act like Israelites. Like an Israelite who eats pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster.
Like our people in America.
Yeah, kind of like so-called African Americans. These are bywords and things that we're not really are originally, but we act this way because we're following the oppressor in his ways. You know what I'm saying? So go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans, all right? Enter you not. At the time, the Samaritans were, I believe, were Africans that were transplanted by the Assyrian king in the northern kingdom in Israel. All right, so he said, don't go to these people because these people were not Israelites. They were heathens in our land. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So again, this is in red too, so that means it's Christ speaking. So it says, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Who they're talking about? The children of Israel, the so-called or not the so-called, but the tribe of Judah. Those are the lost sheep, or the Israelites of the house of Israel. You understand that? So Christ is coming for the lost sheep. He's not coming for you heathen nations or you Gentiles. Okay? He's not coming for that. He's coming for his people. That's why he read in Matthew 1:21, his people. So he's letting you know. Go ahead.
If I may, nothing.
Good. No, go ahead.
I don't see any other nation that needs saved from it.
Come on. See, why Ron is bringing out is heavy, and he's right, because the so-called oppressor, the so-called Jewish man, don't need saving from anything.
No.
He owns everything. He owns every institution in America, every school, the Diamond District, every whatever it is, he owns it. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at any other nation, the so-called African, the East Indian, they own, the East Indians own your donut shops. You know what I mean?
That's